Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome tonight. I still hope you are doing great. So, I am going to ask this. What is wrong with Latinos, Hispanic? All of them are crashing out over sinners. Before I get into this video, I am going to say a very big shout out to Ryan for doing a great job. Black people, I am so proud of you people. And if you haven't seen Sinners, what are you waiting for? Go check it out, right? And I remember I talked about it a few days ago, but this particular one, it looks like Latinos, they are seriously mad. Why are they mad? Because they feel like they were not represented. And I am asking, why is it that you all want to be in black business like anytime you get? Because it's not making sense. Tell me how you all feel like they feel so entitled that they are supposed to be in anything going on in black business. And then looking at the movie, it happened at the time that the movie was talking about that they were not even in the picture. So why do you, I am not, why do you want to be in a picture of something that you were not there? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I feel like these people, they think that they can come and come for black people anytime they get, because they feel like there is no anti-black bill because what is going on. You all want black blues, but you don't want the rhythm. Or how did they say you want the rhythm, you don't want the blues, whichever one that is. That is just exactly who you people are. I did not see you people at the polling unit. You people were not at the polling booth where you people were supposed to be. Now it is you people crashing out. Let's get into this.
Because we are owed our flowers. Also, Ryan, I saw that tamale story you put in the movie. Where's the fucking Latino extras? Come on, Ryan, you're so good at putting Latinos in your movie. What the fuck happened here? You don't put Latinos in the movie, and you steal from the...
Y'all love our rhythm but can't handle our blues. Baby, y'all love to try to co-opt black stuff. You like to try to take it over and make it yours and make yourself the center of attention in a movie that has rave reviews even from the writer of From Dusk Till Dawn. Quentin Tarantino himself said that it was a masterpiece, and so I'm trying to figure out how you've inserted yourself and somehow tried to center you in a conversation that has nothing to do about you. The Repatriation Act should have been your litmus test, and you should have read it before posting this video that is violently stupid and intellectually lazy. But however, I am not surprised because everybody's looking for a cheap click. I'll say it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it 3 times. You all want our rhythm but cannot handle our blues because you all are so busy trying to colonize the work of black people that you can't see how profoundly anti-black it is to claim that somebody black stole something. Your video said that, not me. You called and claimed that he stole something. He didn't steal a thing at all. And you wouldn't be the person to be able to raise that claim. The original writer would, which he did not do. So I want to invite you to find some business and stick to it. But moreover, I want to invite you to find something productive to do with your time rather than make up lies and be anti-black. Have the day you deserve.
So look, I'm hearing that some of the Latino people are upset that they weren't represented in centers. Look, so when did that become a thing though? And if I can recall, on November 5th, they weren't worried about representing anybody but themselves when they were at those polls. Y'all wasn't worried about representing us or us representing you at the polls in November. So when did it become a thing for black people to represent you in our art? Well, when did that become a thing? Let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. And do you recall a lot of Latino people being around during 1932? I mean, let's just be a buck about it. Let's keep it 100. But yeah, I mean, I don't like, let's be clear on what we're saying when we're just saying stuff over the internet. I know a lot of it is rage baiting, a lot of y'all just doing it for likes and clicks. But come on, let's be serious here. It's never been a thing that black people have to represent or include Latinos in our art, a movie. It's never been a thing. Yes, we love our Latinos and in different cultures and different states and cities. The Latino and black cultures are connected a lot from what I understand. So it's not that we don't care about the Latinos or anything like that. But my thing is, make sure that when y'all talking, you talking about what's real and what's right. Right? Like, it's never been a thing. So don't make it a thing now because Ryan Coogler is winning. Don't make it a thing when black people are winning. Don't make it a thing when black people are right. You know, if you're going to represent all the time, y'all should have represented at them polls.
Come on, Ryan, you're so good at putting Latinos in your movie. What the fuck happened here? You don't put Latinos in the movie, and you steal from the biggest Latino vampire movie? Come on, man, that's a bad look.
Where do I begin? So the genius in that clip I just posted turned off his comments and the ability for us to stitch his video. I wonder why. Maybe because you're posting rage bait and you realized that after you posted that video, I sound like an idiot. Hollywood has been around for over a century. You can connect similar plots to every single movie that exists in the world. What matters is if it's good. Avatar is literally Dances with Wolves, which is Pocahontas, which is also Fern Gully. That'll make them films less enjoyable. But he went on to say that Sinners is just a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn. And I'm not the only reviewer who has said that Sinners is a lot like From Dusk Till Dawn. Even Ryan Coogler has said it himself. And also, branding From Dusk Till Dawn a Latino vampire movie is so minimizing. The same way people talk about, oh, that's a black movie, or that's an Asian movie, that's a foreign movie. No, they're just movies, and they're either good or bad. Yes, I love that From Dusk Till Dawn has a large Latino cast, but when it's all said and done, who's collecting the royalties? A white man. Ooh. But the cherry on top of the shitty sundae is that he made a sarcastic comment about, oh, he's racist because he's talking about the black movie. No, sir, we didn't say that. You said it because you know what you're doing. We're all minorities in this business. We all have been recipients of the short stick. So accusing Ryan of stealing an original idea that is informed by his experience as a black man and the experience of black people in this country, compared to a movie where the main characters were white and all the bad vampires were Latino and one black man, and his only connection to Latino culture was that it was set in Mexico. We really be minding our own damn business. And here y'all come throwing sugar in our grits. Movies can be similar and still coexist. Is Sinners a perfect movie? No. But this man literally made a video talking about how great of a movie Sinners was. He also called Sinners a vampire from dusk till dawn for black people. Why is it that when a project has a cast that is predominantly one ethnicity, it has to be branded that ethnicity? Because all of us minorities, we have no problem watching Downton Abbey and Game of Thrones. We watch Friends and The Office. We watch Law and Order. We watch The Wonder Years. Yes, we can acknowledge that those casts were predominantly or all white, but that didn't deter us from recognizing it was a good project and we kept tuning in. But a predominantly black cast, oh, that's for the black people. A predominantly Latino cast, oh, that's for the Latino people. Oh, that's a predominantly Asian cast, oh, that's for the Asians. Despite there being Koreans and Chinese and Singaporean and Thai and Indians, etc. Keep them comments off, because when you take them off, we gonna eat you up. Tread lightly and have the day you deserve. Bye.
We had people arguing about the Latino representation in the movies, especially because there was a tamal sign in the movie.
So Ryan, I saw that tamale story you put in the movie. Where's the fucking Latino extras?
And because there was a tamal sign in the movie, then that automatically means we needed Latino representation. But did you know that that's not a Mexican tamal? Have you heard of the Delta Hot Tamal? Or better yet, pronounced Delta Hot Tamal? I just learned about this yesterday and I'm super excited to try them after watching all the pictures and the videos of how they're made. Delta Hot Tamales are deep southern dish. In the mid-1920s, Mexicans went to work in the cotton fields in the Mississippi Delta. They took their tamal recipe, and the African Americans in the area adopted and adapted to this dish, making it its. This picture alone shows you how different the Delta Hot Tamale is. And I don't know about you guys, but my mouth watered when I looked up all these. Yes, it's a tamal, but it's clearly a hot tamal. Look at how different it is, and it's wrapped differently than what our traditional Mexican tamales. These tamales are smaller, spicier, and they're simmered in broth. This is what happens when Mexican African culture come together. Flavor, straight up soul food. So know that tamal sign is not our Latino representation. This movie was well executed for its time period and location. Just because there is a tamal sign doesn't mean we need Latino representation. It just means that the director knew what he was doing and was educating those that didn't know about those current area traditions. Because, baby, I'm about to go try myself one of those tamales. And chef's kiss to Ryan Coogler.
Here's my 2 unnecessary cents on the sinners and Latino representation. Y'all need to shut down the conversation because it's unnecessary and we need to mind our business. Second of all, y'all need to be focusing on our media first, if anything, because y'all see in every telenovela we got lighter skinned people always portraying the main character. Let's focus on that first and then we can start talking about whatever, right? Not like it's under any of our business or anything like that, but y'all got darker skin colored Latinos always playing the servant, always playing the blunt, the joke here, you know? Maybe address our colorism in telenovelas first before y'all come loud and proud and mighty about representation, because I don't see y'all talking about that at all. Sorry, not sorry, but y'all making it our business, and no, absolutely not.
The thing, you asking where the Latinos were in the Sinners movie is the equivalent of me asking where the black people were in Selena. You should be asking yourself why the Latinos were at the polls voting for Trump instead of asking a black director why there are no Latinos in his movie.
Lord, again, a fucking again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same.
Now, if you guys are gonna come online, which you never do, you never have the accurate historical context, you never have accurate facts, and you don't ever do research. There were no Mexicans in Mississippi during that time due to the Mexican Repatriation Act, which expelled most Mexicans from America, especially the Delta, and sent them back to where? Mexico. Most Latinos that are making these videos are the same people that have a problem if indigenous Latinos or Afro Latinos are represented in telenovelas or Latin films because they're not Latino enough.
I'm just saying.
Do you guys not see the madness that you're doing right now? It's literally absurd, and to flip-flop, because Ryan Coogler is the only person that actually told the Native story and included Native people in his films when he didn't have to. This movie is about black people, made by black people, about black people in a time where black people were black in the South. Asians are in there because they are a part of that story, and it matters. This trend amongst other people of color or other groups in the world, which they don't want to let black Americans have anything. Like, black Americans did this. If the media says black Americans, well, why didn't they do this? Or they didn't really create that, or they don't have code. Like, what is the issue? What is the issue? No other black person on earth has to defend themselves this much. This apple will make me lose my mind. Why doesn't anyone actually do research? It takes 2 seconds to Google anything and actually formulate an opinion based on facts, not feelings. Facts, not feelings. Facts, not feelings. Oh, mamá huevo.
What's up, y'all? It's your man, Seti Rooney, a.k.a. Seti Said, on the Record Podcast. Shout out to my man, DJ and Taz. Shout out to my man, I Am Walt. And this is a video response to all those talking shit about the movie Sinners, which just came off a really good weekend on its opening weekend. Over $60 million made. Congrats to the Coogler and crew for that success. For original IP. Coming out during a holiday weekend, killing it out the gate. And I hope they'll keep killing it before the Thunderbolts drop in 2 weeks' time. And I'm done with the celebratory talk. It's time to get to brass tacks. And I'm talking to you Latinos because you call me real reckless and come out of the side of your face on some bullshit. So, and I'm Afro-Latino, so I can speak this shit, so I'm going to talk to you. And you directly. You are getting at Ryan Coogler because there's no representation of Latinos in 1930s Mississippi. I'm going to say this again for the hard-headed motherfuckers in the cheap seats. You're getting mad at Ryan Coogler for the lack of representation of the Latino community in his movie that is set in 1930s Mississippi. And this is what tells me there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers in this country because a lot of you don't know your motherfucking history. So it took me but 1 minute to find out on Google the actual history as to why there are not many Latinos and mainly Mexicans in the South, let alone in America, during the Great Depression era. And here's just break it down. During the 1930s, many Latinos, particularly Mexican and Mexican Americans, experienced forced or coerced repatriation to Mexico due to the Great Depression. This Mexican repatriation was a period when the U.S. government and state local authorities, even private entities, pressured and in some cases forcibly deported individuals of Mexican descent, including many U.S. citizens. The Great Depression led to widespread unemployment and economic hardship, and Latino communities, particularly Mexican immigrants, were disproportionately affected. This led to increased xenophobia and a belief that Mexicans were taking jobs away from American citizens. Quotation, American citizens. You know, some of those Mexicans were American citizens, let alone American born. So the U.S. government, and then the government had to come back and get them back. So the U.S. government, along with state and local authorities, implemented repatriation program that often used coercion and deception to send people back to Mexico. Many, including U.S. citizens, were deported based solely on suspicion of being Mexican, even they have no connections to Mexico. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Today's standards. It sounds really, really familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Because who's in power doing the same bullshit right now in 2025? Over 400,000 people left the U.S. between 1929 and 1937, with a peak of 138,000 in 1931. Mexican government sources suggested that over 300,000 were repatriated between 1930 and 1933, while Mexican media reported over 2 million during that similar span. So maybe close to 2 million Mexican and other Latinos who were in this country at the time during the Great Depression were kicked out of this country. It took me less than 3 minutes to find this shit out on Google, and most of you motherfuckers talking shit about this movie couldn't even do that. Make it make sense to me. You're being loud and wrong. And listen, this is me talking, mind you. Before I put videos online, I always measure twice and cut once, because once it's online forever. And I'm not gonna embarrass myself or my peoples saying some dumb shit online. On some real shit. And and this is talking to you, Matthew Torres, who's being loud and fucking wrong. Oh, it's a poor man from death till dawn. Oh, shut the fuck up. On some real shit. And you're a Latino bitch about a movie that has no leading Latino actors in that movie. Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up. They didn't have a lead until the third movie, which was The Hangman's Daughter from Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, I know my shit. I'm a movie nerd. I know my fucking shit. So with that being said, you're caping for Quentin Tarantino and George Clooney, who were the leads, fighting against vampires like Salma Hayek and Cheech Marin, and the band Los Lobos, like I think you hired as well, and what's his name again? Danny Trejo. You're caping for that, and mind you, this movie had no leading actors of Latino descent in that movie. You had Quentin Tarantino, you had George Clooney, you had Harvey Keitel, Juliette Lewis, Fred Williamson, Tom Savini, and you don't have no leading Latin lead at all in that movie. You're keeping for a movie in which Quentin Tarantino made an excuse to have a scene in which he sucked tequila off the toes of Salma Hayek. Well, I would have done the same thing too. I know that's gross, but it's Salma Hayek. I'm sorry. She, even at her age right now, I'll drink her bathwater. I'll keep it 100. But for you to be this loud and fucking wrong and to be a bitch and stuff your comments in your video speaks volumes about you and your character. You have none. You You're a coward. You're straight up a coward. You are a bitch in the highest order. And honestly, this is why I unfollowed you, because you are being contrarian, because you have all this smoke for black directors, for black creators, but have no smoke for white directors and white Hollywood who pretty much run the system. We've been in the game for a long time, black directors, and we're finally getting our just due. Ryan Coogler made one of the greatest deals in Hollywood history because Warner Bros. Was fucking desperate for a hit. And given his track record, they knew he could get a hit from this guy. And now he has not only he has gross from the box office from this weekend, but he's also going to have ownership of his film in 25 years, which is a fucking unheard of in Hollywood. It may change the fucking game. Even Ben Stiller see this for what it is and call out Variety for his bullshit because they want to make sure the movie fails, so a deal of that nature will never happen again. This deal can cause a massive ripples in the entire industry. It may change the entire movie industry and how deals are done and how people can mainly own their IPs. The closest person that had this sort of deal was George Lucas owning the Star Wars IP. You know what I mean? Like that's the only person to think of that even comes close to what Ryan Coogler has done. And honestly, man, it's just I'm glad that Ryan Coogler is getting his just due because he is a fucking director. He is a dude, love his fucking craft. And it shows in every movie done. He has not made a fucking miss yet. Between Creed, Fruitvale Station, Black Panther 1 and 2, and now this, dude, he has not missed yet. And I don't think he's going to miss anytime soon. Like him and Jordan Peele are the reason why horror movies are fucking back in pop culture in a big way. And for the likes of Matthew Torres, whatever the fuck his name is, saying some bullshit, and I can guarantee you that he didn't have this much energy to push movies like Lowrider, Blue Beetle, and El Chicano. It blows my mind. I guarantee you, more people talking all this shit, all Latinos talking shit about black sinners. Where were you for El Chicano? Where were you for fucking Blue Beetle? Where were you for Lowrider? All three Latino films with a predominantly Latino cast, and y'all were nowhere to be found. You make up a huge percentage of the movie-going public, but y'all couldn't even support your own film. Make that make sense to me, man. But I'm done talking, man, because y'all, it's like into a fucking brick wall with some of y'all motherfuckers. So I'm gonna see my breath, save my energy, and keep my blood pressure low, because you ain't worth the smoke. You ain't worth my anger. So, with that being said, guys, I gave you my 2 cents. It is what it is. In closing, be happy, be hopeful, be hydrated, be honorable, be highly elevated, highly motivated, highly educated, and just be good people. And I'll see you next time, guys. I'm out. Teddy Rooney, signing off. Peace.
You just have to say, recognize when the moment is not about you, and when other people are celebrating a huge victory and moment. I have the flu right now, and I think I got it because I went to see Sinners in the movie theaters because I got sick like immediately after. But what I've been thinking is, like, as soon as I get better, I want to go back into the theaters to watch it again, or I want to watch it at home. And I'm a Latina. I've been seeing all of the discourse around that video about why Latinos are not featured in it, and I just like going crazy watching the video. I left that movie theater. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I was like, wow, what a great movie. It was so creative. It was so different. I've never seen anything like it. I left that theater feeling curious about Black history, like Irish history, Chinese history, like in America, and was like excited. And I think it's really hard for films to create curiosity around history. I think it's hard for history movies to do that. Sometimes it can be like really boring or predictable or whatever. And I'm saying this as someone who used to be a US history tutor. Like, I get it. Like, sometimes they're not very exciting, but this movie was so creative, interesting, layered, well written, well thought out, and just made me excited. You know, it was like something different. I've been having a lot of time looking at videos about the movie and breakdowns and like Easter eggs and references and historical things, and like seeing all of those breakdowns make me want to give it 5 stars because I'm like, oh, I just like didn't understand like this, and this. And now that I've seen these videos, I understand it. I want to watch it again and like am excited, you know? And I can recognize when the moment's not about me in this movie. Like, recognize when the moment is not about you and appreciate what it is for the communities that it represents, because the layered and thoughtful work that went into crafting this to make something so compelling and that would make people interested and curious and excited about history leaving that theater is amazing. It's a hard thing to do. I think there is something to be said, obviously, about, you know, Hispanic people not really being represented in movies or stories not being told. That is very fair and valid. I don't think this movie was the one to tackle all of those things. Like, to put all of that on one movie is kind of insane, especially a movie that wasn't intended for us, and that's okay. There is art made by Hispanic, Latino, Mexican artists, movie makers, playwrights, everything, and use, you know, if you have a platform, you can use your platform to highlight those things instead of focusing on this one movie that you're expecting to carry the story of all groups or something. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. Like, it did such an amazing job weaving together, you know, 3 or 4 actually, because of the like indigenous stories, cultures and backgrounds, and like weaving that into one thing is amazing, like an amazing feat. And if you feel like there aren't any stories that highlight what you want to be highlighted, write them, write a play, write a movie, direct a movie, invest in young filmmakers and education. There's like a lot of avenues to do that instead of like trashing on a moment that isn't ours. I'm from the US-Mexico border, and I've been writing a book about that experience, because in media there's like a one-track mind when it comes to people from there and what it's like to be from there, that is just not representative of what it actually is like to be from there. So I've written about like family, like socioeconomic status, generational trauma, like so many things that add like a more full picture of what it's like to be from there, because I haven't seen a lot of media that represents that. So like, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna write something, I'm gonna do something, instead of looking at movies like Sinners and being like, oh, I should be there, why am I not there? That is very weird. That is very weird to me. And I know I've seen other people on here like have similar sentiments, but I just felt like I had to say something because it was making me crazy. And if, you know, people who are curious, who are Hispanic, who like are inspired by this movie, because I could see like so many different communities being inspired by, not even just the ones that are represented in the movie, but like so many being inspired by the story, like writing about the Mexican-American War, writing about the Texas Ranger program and like how that impacted Mexican people and Hispanic people. The Bracero program also, how that impacted, you know, the fallout of that, and like how that impacted the country and Mexican Latino people. Many opportunities to use some sort of like historical element and like weave that in and like write a good story, something compelling that will move people and like inform people, and hopefully have this same impact of making people excited and curious about history. But yeah, just know when it's not your moment. And if you're upset that, you know, your voice isn't being heard or your story's not being told or where you're from's not being highlighted enough, like, go write that thing. Go write it.
Finally got your own franchise. A movie that everyone collectively loves. And the first thing you do with the sequel is bring my people in. Y'all didn't need to do that. Where's the fucking Latino extras? Come on, Ryan, you're so good at putting Latinos in your movie. What the fuck happened here? You don't put Latinos in the movie, and you steal from the biggest Latino vampire movie? Come on, man, that's a bad look.
First and foremost, the movie that man is referencing had an all-white cast. Like, the leads in that movie was white. Latinos were depicted as the villain. Second of all, Ryan Coogler literally had y'all in Black Panther 2 heavily represented. Third of all, when do y'all represent us in y'all's movies? And in y'all's, I ain't never seen no black people in a telenovela. Like, enough is enough, okay? Nobody owes you anything. You have to work and put the work in and strive and create a lane for yourself the same as everybody else. It's the entitlement for me, especially when a lot of these, but not all, but some of these people are very anti-black. They don't really bang with us in the real way. Only when it's beneficial or when they need something or where they're asking for something. That's the only time they will act like we have some type of alliance going on. And enough is enough. Like, you're not entitled to be included in every single work of art or every single production that a black person puts together. That's not how this works. And you was just praising him. You was just praising him for having representation. So which one is it? You feel like you're supposed to be included every single time? That's because y'all so used to getting invited to the cookout that now you don't even see it as an opportunity. You don't even see it as something to be appreciated. You think that it's a right. You do not reserve the right to be included in everything that black people got going on. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Oh, and I have to add that Sinners was an amazing movie, 10s across the board. I will come and give a review sooner than later.
Y'all keep asking where's the Latino representation. Where was it in Selena? Y'all wanting closer proximity to Caucasians is so embarrassing. Yeah, they hate us, but they hate y'all too. They use y'all for y'all votes and told y'all to pack y'all shit up by 9 a.m. Matter of fact, we'll send somebody to move your shit for you. And if your kid's mad about you getting the fuck up out of here, then they can go too.
In fact, get all the children and the babies too.
Really?
I mean, all of them. Yeah.
You know what the crazy part about the Selena movie is that black people still want Yolanda Head to the day. We never was like, where's the black representation in this movie? Oh no, like this is crazy. Like, where's the black people in the movie? Where's the black people? We didn't even talk about the fact that J-Lo fucking Puerto Rican. And the fact that J-Lo whole career, she been stealing black women voices. So let's talk about it. But see, that's a whole different dynamic. You understand what I'm saying? Kind of how what y'all doing to the Sinner movie.
This is all I got from this video, and I really do not know where to start from because some people are really wowed. Why am I saying that? I am saying this because some people do not even want, like, they do not want it to ever prosper. They do not want to see anything good coming up from you, because why would you go and do something for yourself without including them? They want your blue, they don't want your reading, but they do not want your blues, right? So while I was checking all this out, you all remember that I talked about the movie a few days back, right? And a lot of people are like, they've seen it or are going to see it, and the rest of it. It was a great movie. Ryan did a great job. There was also diversity. So why are Latinos crashing out? Why are they mad? Because I don't get it. Now, from the things I was able to gather during my research, I found out that they were not there during the period, right? So how do you, I don't know what is wrong with these people these days. Like, they wake up every day and they want to pick on black people. The fact that a lot of people were all in the comment section sharing themselves up and all that makes it even crazier. Because sometimes it looks like the majority of them are not thinking right. It is only when you all sit down and wait for black people to come up with something. Then when they come up with something, then you want to attach yourself to it because you all want to be included in everything. That's why I keep saying black people do not have anything for themselves, because everybody feel like you owe them something even when you do not owe them a dime. So why do you people feel so entitled? Even if he made the video for, like, I don't know, without you. Or even if you guys were there already, but they made that video without you. So what is it? Why not go out and make your own movie? What is stopping you people from making all Latino movies? Why is it? I don't understand. I understand diversity is very good, but the video is very diverse, right? But now they all have something to say. They all got something to talk to about black people. They all want to. What happened to you people at the polling unit, at the polling booth? I mean to say, why did you people not show up at the polling booth? What were you guys scared of? Who were you guys scared of? You guys were scared that what were you scared that you did not show up at the booth? And you or I do not see or hear you people talk about the kids that will start representing themselves at their court, toddlers. You all are not speaking on it, but you all always find a way to put your legs, your hands in black community, because it's only black community that are black people that you all will talk to and get away with, because there is no anti-black bill. Everybody wants to jump in black people's business, but you don't want to ever identify with them. And you all think it is going to be cool with you? No, go settle your score. Do not get me angry because I am going to call eyes. I don't mean it, but these people are really, I don't mean it. But they are getting me angry every day because, like, why is it that every day we wake up, Latinos are up in black people, not just being up in black people's business for something good. It's always something crazy that, see, guys, enough of it. So shout out to black people. Shout out to Ryan for doing a great job. If you haven't seen Sinners, go see Sinners. You will love it. And for those that have seen it, feel free to let me know how you feel, or if you are planning for the second, third, and all that. Bye for now.